The Vaiterani River. Learning briefly about the Ram of the Yama from the Lord Narayana, Garuda said, "Oh Lord, really, the way of Yama Ram is so frightening and full of grief. Please also enlighten me as to how the sinner being is drawn to the arm. How is he and his taken to that way?" Lord Narayana replied, "The way is really frightened, even by learning about that. Even though you are my strong devotee, you may shudder to know about it. In the Yama realm, there is no trees to provide any degrading shade. No kind of food is available there to let the being get some strength to face the doubting troubles. Neither it is available even a drop of water. The being that has to pass through the remain hungers and thirsty always. O Lord of birth, in the Ram, all the 12 forms of sun burns as brightly and squanterly as they do when the final destination, the period commences. The pralaya commences. The atmosphere is extremely inclined there, and there is being made and gets tons of poisonous huge snakes, piercing with the most insidious thorns, and often thrown before the wild and hunger beast. Now the poisonous deadly scorpions are fed on the being, and now the sinner is burnt in a blazing fire. After the halt, after the whole, there is 2000 yojana spread wilderness, having many sharp edged leaves called aspartavana, jungle tendons of the leaves, and be having a sharp leaves as the edge of the sword. This jungle is replete with the frightened huge crows, vultures, owls, and deadly beings. When bitten by all these vultures and insects, the being reaches head beneath the trees and sharp-edged leaves inflict deadly wounds on the suitable of the body. In the jungle only, there are many of the arrayed pine wells in which he is made to fall into. He is also tossed down from the high mountains. Repeatedly, he is done to walk on the path littered with sharp nails and thorns. Frequently, he is thrown inside the wired graves and thrust deep into dying dirty grim filled pond, and often leeches are let loose on him. How he is made to walk on the boiling sand, now thrown over the live amber. He is also taken through suffering smoke filled chambers. Sometimes he is also made to slay in the pit filled with Purse air blood. Midway, he is also come across a river called Vaiterani. He is extremely frightened even to look at. This river is 100 yojana broad, filled with pus and blood, and its embankment are made with bones. It's very deep, and very few are able to cross it. There's a thick, deadly algae and bones with furious gladiators. The meat-eating bird especially remains all around it. This sinners often fell into and go across it. Our Garuda has the clarified bitter boils. When heated by fire, so the river floods boil and seas appropriately simmer. The insect with the sharp tongue remains even, ready to prey on the approaching sinner. When the being is consigned to the river, he often cries bitterly, reminding with Keith and kin, the river has only pus and blood to quench the thirsty and decomposed flesh to state the hunger. Falling into the vortex of eddies and being often goes down and comes up. Not even with the moment can be remain as rest. Oh Garuda, this river has been wrought only for torturing the sinners. It is so huge and wide that nobody can see the other bank. This make crying and wailing, yelling from for shock cure, and the sinner across the river and reaches the Yamaloka. These tortures inflicted in this realm are too repugnant to even desire. Now the messenger of the death drag the being, trying him up with these nose. These ropes pass through the supple body, nostrils, and earlobes. With the hands and feet tied, the sinners are made to carry huge weight. When they fail, the messenger of the death beat them with iron clubs. As a result, often the sinners move, punking blood and wrinking in pain. Still, these ignorant people do not remember God. By weeping the memory of the kin and kin, at times they repent quietly. We come into the human species after doing much meritorious deed in our earlier life, but in the last life, neither did we do any righteous deed or donate alms to the needy, nor worship gods. Neither did we take a dip in the holy Ganga, nor service to holy men. Neither we had any sweetened water ponds made for birds' benefits, or did we feed the pious Brahmins. Now I saw you cannot escape these deadly consequences. Never did listen to the recitation of the noble Puranas, nor even revive the learned priest. Neither did we obey any masters or nor discourage vital responsibilities. Female sinners thinkers. Neither did we remain faithful to my husband, nor ever served him devotedly. Neither did I commit myself to sainthood at the pyre of my dead husband. It was being my previous life unrighteous deed that I got this body of a woman in my last life. But even this is I failed to do anything I improve my statue in the species Ecolon. The way all the sinners, whether male or female, keep up the wailing and repenting on the mistakes and lapses while being dragged along with the torturous path. Further, Lord Narayana told Garuda, the ghostly Prita from the dead person survives 17 days in eternal form. On the 18th day, he reaches a town called Somyapura. This is repelled with ferocious ghosts. In this town exists a beautiful banyan tree with the river called Pushpa Badhara close by. For sometimes a being of rest here will be accomplishing death messengers and keep on grieving, remembering his relations. But he or she is accosted by the death messengers to where have vanished all the relations now. Here nobody comes to your rescue, save your own good deeds. Now suffering the consequences whatever you have done in your previous life. Keep moving on the path shown to us. They also threaten the being with their own mighty. You cannot get away from this. Unfortunately, you did nothing in your life to escape the 20 years of horrible path. That is, you accomplished no good deeds to escape these troubles. Now it is your destiny to keep on moving on this path. You fool, you did not never listen to anybody to their recitation by noble Brahman. Did you even realize that Yama Ram you have to be big for everything? This is knowledge is to know in even an ordinary child. Now you suffer for your mistake. This is the way taunting the being of deadly messenger. Keep on beating and subtle form within iron clubs. That beings are no option but to faint in agony and wake up in extreme anguish. Even when he tries to run away, he is heavily beaten to make him fall in the way. Again, he has to get up and tread that torture, inescapable path. This is being taken on the path of 13th day of his death. After 17 days of departure, he reaches Somayapura. Thus, he gets a final meal offered by the Shraddha performed by his sons after the first month of the death. Then he taken to Shunaipur, where regard the Yama remain in Bhushan. This is the second halting place. After this, following a 3 fortnight period, the being partakes in the cereals and liberation of food again in the Sharta of his descendant. Then crossing this belt, the being reaches the Nahendra Bhavan. We again feel melancholic seeing the array forest and weaves. This place where the reefs and rant where the messenger of deadly drag will pull him out. It took months, the time for him to cross this jungle. Then being partakes of the food of Shraddha performed by his descendant after 2 months in the December. Then he is again taken along with the dead messenger. The third month is every death after the death of putting a subtle ghostly from reaches the place called Pantapur and receives the food offered by his family members. In the fourth month period, he reaches the place called Shailapur, where he constantly stoned by the messengers. Following this, he gets the food offered by his family members, from which he derives some solace. Then he reaches Konachapur, where he receives the food offered by his fifth month, and subsequently he is taken to the place called Kurupapur. When he reaches the fifth month, the 15 days getting elapsed on his death on the mortal world. Here he stops for a while. Then he again tortured by the messengers of death, and they drag him along further ahead to reach the place called Chitra Bhavan. This place is ruled by Yamaraj's younger brother called Vichitra, who has very dreadful physique and look very airy. The being feels every much frightened seeing him. He wants to get away, but he's forced to remain there. Then he reaches a river, Vaiterani, Rani, where many boats men stand to take him across the river. They tell that being, if you have any merit in your conduct, you can go across, else you won't take across. In fact, only the being can go across the river who has donated a cow. Those who haven't done it, so remaining blissful, keeping its another bank. Meanwhile, the messenger of the death keeps on showing the boiling, dreadful river and itchy to make him so into it, but he keeps on crying. He who has donated a cow in a life is able to cross it, even throwing into it. He who has not done so drown in that weird river. The messenger go across through the aerial way, and they get hook entitled in being mouth, with whose help he goes across. Reaching across, a being who has donated a cow gets a food offered in the Shraddha by his descendant after 6 months of his death. But by this time, due to extreme erection, he remains hungry and keeps on crying. Inside his tent, the messenger of the death takes the being to the place called Bava Pata. Reaching there, he gets the food offered in the seventh month of Shraddha. Intent give him some satisfaction. Further, Lord Vishnu tells Garuda the being is taken into the place called Tupaputar. Moving through the aerial route, he encounters many kind of affiliation, receives the food offered in the 8th month of Shraddha. At the completion of 9th month, he reaches Karnatapur. He beholds many Krantagagas grouping the raven city. And seeing them, he also cries because he is getting tortured. 10th month, he taken into Sapta Bhavan, where he is a 10th month Finta. From there, he goes into the Randanagar to receive the Shraddha for 11th month of death. Having part there in the food and drinks, he reaches Payo Paivoshana Nagar after 15th day of leaving Rantapur. This place is very frightening place where one of the being keeps pouring the clouds, raining grief. At this place in short time he gets very little of Shraddha offering. At completion of 1 year of death, the ghostly form of the being reaches Shetadhyanagar. This place is even colder than Himalayas. This being shudders in unbearable cold. He is madly pines for support, but he gets nothing. He longs for some of the kin and kin, but the messenger teases him. What merit have you accrued to me, your name to desire some secure here? You did no noble work to receive any rescue at this place. Severely tortured internally and being helpless moving forward, I feel somewhat satisfied to receive the offering made in Shraddha on the completion of the death of one full year. After this, he is taken to Bahubirthapur, where he shed, even with subdued form, no bigger than a thumb. This way, he meritorious work that one accomplished in the mortal life, use being challenged in the dreadful journey. These who haven't are subject to untold tortures and miseries. Lord Vishnu says, Karga, this is the desire of the way to lead Yamaram from the southern gate of it. Now you have know how his being after his death completes 1 year on the way of Yamal Riam and how he is tortured and tormented. And now what else do you decide to listen further to me? Following 13th day of death ceremony gave on every Amavasya moonlight being offered food of his descendant.